Hi folks, this is Crafty Dan coming to you with a weird project that I've been working on. This is something Jimylongs came out with. They did some prototypes a few months ago that it's effectively it's a half of one of his picks. There's this nice little bitty thin format with a big weird oblong oval thing at the end, so there's some good purchase on that. It's not particularly as nice as his regular picks, but it's the same materials, same profiles once you get past the shank, or the start of the shank. But the normal one goes the full tang. This one just goes sort of a little bit shorter. That being said, he's sort of provided it as a crazy, he initially provided it as a crazy prototype of something to play with, and just recently came out with it as a product where you can modular hook these things together and make your own double-ended pick. Cool, cute, but the way I pick is not like the pencil thing. Usually it's more like this, and depending upon the way I've got it, I might be digging into my palm rather nastily on some of these things. Yeah, you can flip it around. It just wasn't particularly comfortable, and that's one of the nice things about the Jimylongs picks is they're nice, they're big, they fit the hand well. The palms not being eaten up really bad. They're good picks. So I was looking back and seeing some other ideas of potentially with these things. It's like, what if I could take these and then I could, instead of just putting double-ended like this, let's have one end showing and then have the handle go the full length, and you can just flip it around and then hide the whole thing in the handle, make sort of a poor man's or a jerry-rigged, Jimmy-rigged jackknife, so that you could make it all into a nice little pretty handle and it worked. Well, I looked online, saw some of the saw that he had some 3D printed versions of these for the earlier prototypes for people to play with, and one of which was a much longer handle. Now, the longer handle he had was actually not long enough. It was just a hair bit too short, by about a centimeter. So went in there, extended it out just a little bit. The magnet size wasn't actually sized into these, and I couldn't find the magnets that he bought anyways. So I ended up getting another magnet online. The ones I got off of Amazon were 10 by 5 by 2 millimeters thick. Just being metric, they're probably a little bit easier to source coming forward. In any case, so I extended it out and started playing with the design and laid it out, and the first ones didn't print really well. This is a weird filament that I got that's 3 colors that they don't go well together. They think they will, and they sort of do. As long as they don't mix, they look awesome. And they start to mix, they start getting streaky and runny and weird, and the difference in color palettes, or color pigments in them, is really messing with the filament itself, so it doesn't really make well. So got those all put together. The one that he had, or the blank that Jimylongs had put out, did not have a recess back here, so I created a nice little recess so that these things will fit in there and everything will be great and peachy keen. It fits in nice and they mask. Ran into some problems. This is an iterative process. I think I'm playing with version 8 of this right now, and I'm pretty happy with that one. But in some of the earlier ones, they wouldn't register very well on the front, and they'd get a little sloppy. And so I got put not just a sort of a registration marks here, I put registrations on the back sides as well. Unfortunately, once I start put those in there, then I started breaking pens like crazy because they're plastic and the 3D printing is not great. And so then I started doing other things, and hollow pins, and then the hollower pin, and then drive a screw bit through those. It totally didn't work. So the more I played with it, the worse they got, until I printed these on the side. Printing them on the side makes the peg itself in its strongest dimension, so the layer lines are running lengthwise along here, and so if it's going to crack, it's going to crack like right down the middle where there's lots of material. And so that actually works really well. It's not the cleanest print from that side, but it works well. Now, the idea behind this, one of the things that I was thinking, set that bad boy aside, was that, yeah, I'd like to be able to store one of these in here. What about storing 4 of them? So if I want to build it such that I could pull any one of them out and push them in that direction if I wanted to, but the rest of them, let's just go ahead and just stack them in like so. Boop, boop, boop. And I'm missing one of them. This is always the fun part. Oh, right. He's hiding in here. In any case, you fit all 4. You can fit all 4. You can put less if you want, but it's sized for 4. And you press that in there. You flip it over. You've got a magnet on both sides. The magnets are just really to sort of reinforce holding this thing shut. And then you line it up. The 2 pegs are close, but a nice slip fit. And then there are some clicking points here that will hold it in as sort of a compliant mechanism. It snaps together. And now you've got a nice little easy carry. That's great. That's wonderful. But what if I want to carry around a tension wrench too? Well, there's a magnet there. It holds onto it. So I came up with this version of it where it's got a little ridge that this is a 4mm wide wiper insert. This is actually a covert instruments cut in half, and it slips right in there, holds in place. The magnet holds it off. It can be peeled away, but it's a little less likely to do so. And then whenever you want to use the tool, use your fingernail, work around the edges, pops it open, and then you put it in place. The magnets are coming out at the moment. I've used glue on some of them, and the ones that I've actually glued in work. The ones that I haven't, they of course pop out at the least convenient time, and I don't want to get them backwards. So you pop them in place. Okay, and there you go. 4 of these in here, and it could be any of the 4, so you can mix and match. Works great. But how well do they work? Well, proof of the pudding's in the eating. This is a AWIS 7240. Nice little locks. I picked one for my green belt. It works great. And click, 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 click. One I haven't picked on video, so it's going to take forever. It's going to get camera shy on me. Click, click. Oh. Come on, don't be shy. Come on, pop open. The thing is that this kit, when you get them from Jimylongs, they're about $10 a piece, relatively cheap, and comes with 4 versions of each style of pick. Boop, there we go. It only has them in 19 thousandths. I really, really wish he'd redo them in 15 thousandths. It may just be a matter of time. So, proof of the pudding is in the eating, and this lock has been pretty much consumed. In any case, I'll have this up on Thingiverse a little bit later, when I've got a chance. Probably I'll have this version versions with and without this little ridge here. Link, of course, to the Amazon link where I got the magnets, but I mean, they simply were the cheapest of about that size at, again, 10 by 5 by 2 millimeters. In any case, really pleased with how this guy came out. More often than not, when I am playing, I really need to glue these magnets in. When I'm playing with these lock picks, more often than not, I'm using something like a grav pick or one of the Moki's version of the Lock Master. I do have both a Riv and a Riz pick from Covert Instruments. I've used them both quite a bit. They do eat up the palm quite a bit, but they're decent picks, and they're really good for having with you to whenever you want to pick. That being said, there's one place I won't carry any of these guys, and that is in an airport. You can carry lock picks at an airport, but I don't want to carry something expensive that TSA might claim is not theirs, and it's unrecoverable. If they want it, they're going to keep it. And two is looks like a pocket knife. I'm sorry, this looks like a pocket knife. This is exactly what it's designed. The mechanisms are all how it's designed around. It's begging to be taken. This looks like a grav knife. A gravity knife. That's the mechanism it's designed around. Any day of the week when I'm in the office or picking things or bored in a meeting or whatever, needing something to keep my mind running, I'm probably gonna have this in here because it's the fastest deploy. I can put it out, use it, take it, put it away really crazy fast. If I want something versatile in my pocket, this guy's probably the one I'm going to carry, but through something like a security area where I'm going to use, want to carry it with me, have it slipped into a pocket or slipped into a backpack. I've been using a set of the Jimylongs picks in a nice little leather pencil case. That works well, but it's kind of bulky and inconvenient. This is going to be my next option. I'm pretty pleased with how this is. In any case, like I said, I'll have things up probably on Thingiverse, probably put it up on Maker's World where the other Jimylongs pick handles are for the modular picks. And if you enjoy it, great. If you don't, great. I've had fun making them and designing them. I'll probably see if they're willing to accept this as a submission for the for my green belt, my blue belt project, since I've already got my blue belt settled and blue belt lock picked at least. So in any case, y'all have a great evening. As I said, this was kind of a fun little project. I want to share it. Talk to y'all later.